gentlemen, thank you very much for coming. I know it must have been an ordeal. And Melissa, I know you're leaving the room, but thank you for organising today. I'm the son of a chef. Don't presume that means that my childhood was one that was showered with warm brioche and baguette. It wasn't. I was sent to a very stereotypical English boarding school at the age of 6 years old, which I can only describe as an experience something between Lord of the Flies and Harry Potter, Hogwarts. So the dining room would be a giant imposing room, and the teachers, of course, would sit on a dais, a platform, raised above the pupils. And the Lord of the Flies aspect came in because you had 13-year-old boys, probably the cruelest animals on the planet, in charge of young children, people like me. So if you didn't want to eat your food and you put it on the floor, it would come back on your plate. On top of this, you also had the food being prepared, and bearing in mind this is before the era of Jamie Oliver getting involved in school food. We had food prepared by ladies who didn't seem to like children and had an adverse opinion on food even more. So, I came out of this experience not liking certain foods, and that's because, like anything, when you're young, it's your formative years. If you get bitten by a dog when you're young, you might be scared of animals or dogs when you get older. It's totally logical, and the same applies to food. So if you have bad food experiences as young, or you're forced to eat something which is really unpalatable, or the whole experience of eating is a negative one, that could, and probably will have a negative impact on that child. So with that in mind, if you think about Sesame Street, which was created in America in, I think, the 1970s, and it was in response to children, particularly in deprived urban areas, having a lack of literacy skills. And they decided, which I thought was genius, to create a premise of educating through entertainment. And I think for nursery and Key Stage 1, that's fundamental. If I had teachers, I wish I had a Tim Baker, but if I had teachers who could be imaginative and were passionate and cared, and I'm sure many of you are those people. Unfortunately, I can probably count on one hand the brilliant teachers I had who inspired me. And I just think we have, at the moment, too many educators turning away. Obviously not you good people, because you've come here in good faith, you've battled the snow. I'm not talking about you, essentially. I'm talking about perhaps colleagues that you know. People who put up opposition to ideas which are there fundamentally to improve the lives of young people, which is essentially what we all do as educators. So like Sesame Street, I came up with an idea called Henri Le Worm, and the premise of Henri Le Worm was to connect young children to Key Stage 1 and primary and nursery to the provenance of good food and nature. So understanding that lovely journey from plot to pot. And it is a journey. Because to understand food to a degree, the whole story of food, it starts in the garden, as Henri has just pointed out. And that's a wonderful world to introduce children to, because it's different produce, it's different textures, it's different smells, it's different tastes, which many of you may well take for granted, but there's a lot of children, when I show them a strawberry, look at me with wide eyes. Or I show them melted chocolate with a bit of banana, and it's like the best thing since sliced bread. But it's just using your imagination and a bit of care. And for me, food is about love. Without being too French and romantic, it is about love. It's about family. And like Tim said, with his waitering scheme, it's brilliant. Because family and friends, you eat together. And when you eat together, you communicate. And especially in our modern, too fast-paced lives, we often forget that the table is important. And my French side, it's vital. You'll have a meal for 5 hours, 6 hours, and politics will be discussed, sex will be there, all the PC topics that we might run 1,000 miles away. But it's essential for children because they're growing and they're learning social skills. And their opinion counts at the table as well, as much as the adults. So for me, a table is a learning place. And food is a wonderful tool. Because your teaching is cross-curricular, at certain levels, it's a wonderful tool, as has been shown by the speakers previously, to teach mathematics, to teach sciences, history, geography. and to do it with imagination. And I think, Tim might verify this, that the teachers enjoy it as well, because it's giving you something fun to do, and if your kids are responding well to it, brilliant. It gives you that energy, it gives you that encouragement, and then how often can you take your homework away and eat it and enjoy it? So I think, be open-minded with food. It's not, I know you have to do a lot, and your workload is huge, from identifying the future terrorists of the world to all sorts of other burdens, unrealistic burdens perhaps, which are put on your plate. But I'd ask you, almost beg you, please don't look at food as a burden. It could be something which helps you and will certainly help children. So, Henri Le Worm is essentially a collection of characters, insects, who live in a garden. And in terms of the assets, we have an app, which I'll show you hopefully a bit later, which is interactive. It's about £1.39, and it's fantastic. So you can create lesson plans from the app. It's interactive, like I've said, so you can take scene by scene. It's heavy content, not like a lot of children's apps, which last about 30 seconds. There's a lot of money and effort was put into this. My dad very kindly donated 10 child-friendly recipes, which feature in the story. So it's an interactive story. Again, very important, you're educating through entertainment. We're not force-feeding, it's a very gentle exercise. So you take the children through an interactive story with 7 or 8 characters, so different pupils will relate with different characters, and you go on this wonderful journey. And again, food features in it, but in an organic way. So if the characters, if they need energy, they might have a banana smoothie. If they're in a forest and the lights come down, like you do in the app, and you just see their eyes blinking, they have a carrot stick, and the light comes back up on the app. Very simple messages, but there's truth in them. And it's understanding, again, like what some of the speakers have said earlier, you are what you eat. And I think that's a fantastic and a really easy, digestible truth to give to young people. And Tim said a lot today. But one of the things he missed, and didn't say, was about, and I think it's a lovely analogy, you couldn't do more, Tim, it was fantastic, was that look at children as little cars, or tell them to look at themselves as little vehicles. Now, you wouldn't put sand in a car and expect it to go very far. And it's a simple analogy that children can grab. You're all little cars. Don't put bad things in your tummy. It's not just about filling a space, it's about feeding your body. And that, my friends, has been proven by science for a long time now. So, let me show you a bit about Henri. So we also have lesson plans, which are free. They're on TES, which are branded similar to this, which takes you through a food journey. And we've also got a free website, www.henrileworm, where you can download the lesson plans, and it's animated. You can meet the characters. So, 2 main characters, Henri Le Worm, based on my father, and a ladybird, based on no one in particular. But humour is at the centre of this idea. I want kids to laugh, because food is about fun. It's about life for me. As I said, life, love, family, and also connecting to the environment, which is increasingly more important when you think that kids don't know why it's important that butterflies or bees are disappearing. But it is, because those kids will one day grow up to be the next decision makers, and therefore they need to be informed. So we've had some terrible statistics and kind of very sobering thoughts about why we're doing this. Was it 1 in 5, Tim? 1 in 5 children leaving primary school obese? 1 in 3 now, 1 in 3. I did do this a year and a half ago, so maybe things have changed, not that rapidly. But there's problems, big problems. Jamie Oliver highlighted this in Sugar Rush, with children being amputated per week, with child obesity, with children under 5 being taken into hospital with decaying teeth. It's not a middle-class preoccupation. Most of these children will be, I'm afraid, from the working class, and to dismiss it as a middle-class preoccupation is, for me, a terrible thing to do, because it's the kids that, who are struggling, who are suffering the most. The number of overweight or obese infants and young children aged 0 to 5 increased from 32 million globally to 42 million in 2013. Obesity is on the rise. All of these statistics are showing an increase in problems, not a decrease, which means that we have to have an increasing urgency as decision makers to make those right decisions. Because at the end of the day, it'll just cost our society more. Whether it's in terms of healthcare, whether it's in terms of social care, or re-education. It doesn't make financial or social sense, the choices we're making at the moment. We've done quite well with some awards for the app. Like I said, it's very educational. There's lots of facts in there. Here are the people that's involved. Crazy Frenchman, Arthur Crazy Frenchman, Simon Pegg, who's an actor, so he does all the voices for the characters. Again, it's like comedy. He's quite a funny guy, and my business partner, and another partner. These are the characters, all very different. The worm based on my father, the slug on my brother, the maggot on, I used to say an ex-girlfriend, but I just did it for laughs, it's not true. I love my ex-girlfriend. Yeah, so these are the characters. So it's very different, and we got some lovely ideas of making some butterflies, called the flutterettes, 3 butterflies, a bit like the Spice Girls, and a lovely bumblebee. But it's introducing children to different characters. And most of those characters, even a mosquito pollinates, a flea, I believe, pollinates, a spider has a recycling job within a garden, a slug, that's an orange slug, okay, so I know most gardeners, Hillary's looking at me with daggers, but orange slugs, Hillary, I don't know if you know this, but it's the French slug and they eat the other slugs. Okay, so it's not too much of a value. But different characters, all different qualities, and that means that your children will latch on hopefully to one of them. Some scenes from the app, which I'll just blast through this. So that's, we got some games on the website as well, they're food related. There's a lovely scene on the website as well, of a garden where when you press each with the mouse, each vegetable or fruit, you get a sound effect, which works very well with autistic children. It's all food related. A lovely downloadable seasonal chart, the recipes presented nicely. And there's some lesson plans, which basically take you through a journey, take you through a seasonal journey. So by the end of summer, you were able to do a picnic with the children. So throughout the whole lesson plans, you've learned seasonal produce, which then comes together in summer, and you create the food that you've learned. Again, it's all free. We do a lovely gardens where we work with the Hampton Court, which went down really well. And we're in a Brasserie Blanc. An old man does me a favour and lets me throw the recipes in there. With the kids, we love it. And the kids respond so well, guys. They love it. It's fun. It's different. It's taking you away from the textbooks. And of course, whether we like it or not, children are a digital generation. So they have grown up with cartoons. They have grown up with interactive apps. So if you can teach them through that medium on certain subjects, this is to help you, because I know not all of you are chefs. Some of you won't be confident with food. But lesson plans and fantastic organisations like School Food Matters, School Food Plan, there's so many people out there who will not charge you anything. A lot of it is free resources. It just needs you to go, yes, I care, yes, I'm interested, and then you should receive the help you want. Well, this community garden again, that's what we started with Hillary. We've done an amazing job, Hills, at bringing it to life. It's been absolutely brilliant, and thank you, Tim, as well, for your support for that. Cultural change. So yeah, it's Olivier Le Worm, encouraging, promoting an enjoyable experience with food habits. So basically, mainly understanding that pot-to-pot journey. We won't go through the case studies, but I would implore you, these will be available for everyone, won't they? That's my proudest moment, is the case studies. A tear came down my cheek. I'm not being, again, being too French and flowery. Honestly, it touched me. Because they were commissioned through Tim's school, and it was lovely to see. I was amazed at the effect the app had on the children and their interaction, how they work together as a team. how they related to food, because we don't all come from the same background. Some kids have no idea, and no love, no sunshine, no water. So when you give them that little bit, they respond so well. And obviously they're at Tim's school, so they get plenty of sunshine and water and love. But please download, if you're interested in this app. I'll never make money from it. It's not about cash. It's not about making a profit. But the case studies are truly inspirational. So when you're ready, I'll lock up the app. So what we're going to do now, guys, I'm just going to show you a bit of the app. You'll see, famous last words. Hear a bit of sound. That's the sound. There you go. Thank you very much, guys. Well done. Okay, so before this page, there was a recipe page, 10 little recipes, all done by RV, all easy peasy. Anyone in this room can do those recipes, and they're designed to use with your kids. Those recipes then feature in this story, and that's one scene. I think there's about 8 or 9 scenes, and you can stay on each page as long as you want. Everything is interactive, so if we touched...
Hello, my name is Sebastian, the very intelligent slug. It's a pleasure to meet you. Yummy lettuce. Now, dark lettuce leaves have more goodness than light leaves.
Okay, so every produce you touch, Seb will appear and
Why
tell
don't you water the garden?
why it's good. So if you pick a plant, you're teaching the children to water it, it comes back up. I know it's not quite as easy as that, Hilary, but it's giving them the basics. And it's about exploring, you know, it's about using your imagination. So if we touch the pond...
The ants are having their annual regatta. In this garden, a place called the Forest of Plenty, lives an amazing French worm called Henri. See if you can find him.
What's lovely about that is that you've got the writing, so again it helps slightly with the reading. And generally with this app, just so you know, once the dialogue has come up, the pages become interactive. There's Henri, but we can go into the sky.
Busy having a race.
Whoa! Yeah, all of that. You see, I'm put at the end for the light entertainment bit, okay?
The woodlice are busy having a race.
So, then I'll just show you a couple more scenes.
Henri is waiting for you.
There's a nice cooking element.
Oh, like a worm.
So again, taking the children underground, it's a bit like Octonauts, you're taking them into an environment they wouldn't go, feeding their imagination.
You dig a tunnel to his door. Hello?
And then you can dig this little hole through there.
Well done! You found Henri's home!
And then we go on. And I'll just do one, because I know you're slightly over the age group of
There
products.
are things to do.
But you can get a sense, you start to get a sense of it. And it does go into a story, which you can then follow at your own pace. But here...
Oh no, there's flowers
And then
everywhere.
that's just me on my finger doing that.
Clean up.
You can, these are based, that's based on my miserable,
looking at?
that's based on my French miserable grandfather.
Wow. You never seen a cooking worm before.
Yeah,
All you do is cook.
my beautiful French grandmother. And we go on. I'll just show you one other scene, which is cooking.
There was an exciting buzz in the Forest of Plenty, as it was the day before the annual Best Chef competition. Everybody hoped to win the competition, but Henri Le Worm was such a great chef that he had won 7 times in a row.
My father wasn't too insulted by
My mistake.
well,
8.
there was a point where he wasn't sure if I was taking a lick out of him, making him a giant worm. You know, ego as a male just get a bit fragile, you know. But he was alright afterwards. So you can flip the pancakes, and then we can go, there's another scene where you make pancakes, very basic, cracking the egg, pouring in the milk, stirring, etc. But you get the general gist of it. It's about giving children something fun, and this is essentially to help you. It's a tool for you guys to use to get kids on side if you need it. But thank you very much, so much for listening. I know it's been a long day, and any questions later, we'll be very happy to speak to you. Many thanks.